Well, hey, how's it going, everybody? It's about 8:40 on kind of a sprinkly night. Nice and cool. We're kind of getting in towards the cooler season at the end of the year. It feels great. Just hung out with my one buddy who lives here in town and another friend who's visiting from Atlanta. He's thinking about making the move over and go in between here and Vietnam. That's a good choice. But just enjoying this nice evening, and we've been hanging out since about 5, so I'm trying to get home and get a little work done on the computer. And a couple of my very good friends in San Diego, they are wanting to come over for a visit. We're in the preliminary planning stages, and I've been taking a look at different things online with credit card spend. They know I have always been a bit of a travel credit card guy, and I don't think I've crossed too many oceans in business class or less than business, sometimes even first class, back when the miles were a little easier to come by. But things are tightening up, especially here in Bangkok. It's just not so easy to put $6,000 on a card in 3 months. For one, I don't spend that much money over here, and in the US, here's a guy on the sidewalk. In the US, it was much easier to buy gift cards and money orders and all these different little travel hacks to do a little what we call manufactured spending. Over here, not so much. Still, I found them a couple of pretty good deals. They want to come over in around the 4th of July. They have some family vacation in 2026. And that is one of the more expensive times. I know that is the off-season here in Bangkok, but with school vacations and all, there was not much availability in June or July. Even traveling in economy, which is not my first choice, crossing an ocean, but there just was not a lot of space for miles and points. But I did find them 1,050 fare on Cathay, which is kind of brutal, going from Los Angeles to Hong Kong. I think it's a little over 14 hours, and then 3 hours here to Bangkok. But, you know, to me, it's still worth it. Again, I would much rather do it with a lie flat bed, and my first choice would be to go from the West Coast, if it's San Diego, Los Angeles, San Francisco, even Seattle, to Japan, Tokyo, either Haneda or Narita. Call it an 11.5 hour flight, and you're going into the headwind. And then it's about a 6.5 hour flight to Bangkok. That kind of breaks things up compared to these longer flights to pretty much everywhere, to Taipei, Korea. Singapore is probably the worst. I think they have the LA to direct to Singapore 17 hours. I think it's 17, maybe 16 and a half, but that is a pretty long stretch in economy. Now they're a little set on their dates around the 4th of July because it's my buddy's birthday, and they love to take that big annual trip on his birthday. But I pointed out there were some $700 US fares, LA all the way to Bangkok in February, March, even into April. So there's still some pretty good deals. Again, in economy, when you start looking at premium economy, which is a beautiful product, it was in July, $2,500 US dollars. So that's real money. In business, yeah, I mean, I get it. If you absolutely need to purchase that business ticket, it is what it is. It just leaves a bad taste in my mouth paying $7,000 US for a business ticket round trip. Now, I have a lot of buddies that go back to England, and from here in Bangkok, it's not much shorter, but for whatever reason, the fares seem to be, even in business, closer to $3,500, $4,000 US dollars. I'm not sure why. Maybe there are more flights. Don't know. But $3,500 is way better than $6,500. Now, if you have some time and you're okay with economy, you can take a look at cards like the American Airlines City card, the business card right now, and they're usually a little liberal on their definition of a business. You can just tell them you have some, whatever it is, babysitting business, and usually they're more in the business of approving you for the card than hassling you. But right now they're offering 75,000 points after you spend, I don't have it memorized, I think it's $5,000 in 6 months. You generally want to do the spend as quick as you can, so do it in 30 days if you have a large purchase, or you have an opportunity to prepay some bills, say 2 people's cell phone for the next 2 years, that type of thing. You can oftentimes even put U.S. taxes on credit cards for a 2.5–3% fee through many companies. But I saw plenty of 37,500 US dollars in economy with who was it? Japan Airlines? I know it was American Airlines and their partner flights on, that would be Japan. Oh, also Ava. I think Ava Air. No, that was through United. There is a new United flight that is LA to Hong Kong, a 2-hour-minute layover, and then it comes into Bangkok. It's not a direct flight, but it's pretty darn close, and that is coming in. When they wanted to travel in July, it was about $1,600. When you can go Cathay for $1,050, I would just do that. Even the Cathay flight was a 1 hour and 45-minute layover. Now, the other option I gave my friends, and they're thinking about it, was the super discounted airline Zip Air, which I believe is the little sister to Japan Airlines. They don't even have a TV screen on the back of the seat, but what they do have is a lie flat bed for $1,575, something like that. Basically $1,900. Oh, I'm sorry, it was $1,750. So for, let me get out of the way here. Sorry. For $1,950, these Thai folks are so polite, he didn't even beep the horn there. For $1,950, you can pick your seat, check a bag, and you get a meal. But you're going to have that lie flat seat. Now that's each way, so that is still right under $4,000 round trip, but it's way better than $6,500, $7,000 on some of the legacy airlines. The issue with Zip Air, they fly from multiple locations around the U.S. I just happen to know San Francisco and Los Angeles. The only issue there, if you're continuing on to Bangkok, is you have to book LA to Narita and then a separate ticket from Narita to Bangkok. That's about a 6-hour and 15-minute flight, so you can, I guess, tolerate economy. And it wasn't that much. I want to say, I don't have it memorized, $200, maybe $250 if you're purchasing the extras. Again, it's very discounted, so there's a fee for everything. You might even want to look at AirAsia, Thai Airways. There's multiple ways to get from Tokyo into Bangkok. And again, if you can tolerate doing that in coach, no big deal. Getting across that ocean, especially going into the headwind with that lie flat bed, that's almost worth the price of doing business there. I like the smell of all these nice flowers right here next to the VM market. You just have to do your homework. Myself, I'm all about Google Flights. And then Google Flights will take you to, well, they'll give you different purchasing options. I really prefer to buy directly from the airline, even if it's a little bit more. So when you find a good fare at Google Flights, go down to the purchasing options, and if it has 3 different cheapo travel and XYZ, whatever it is, I would kind of skip past those personally. You have a better shot with American Airlines, Cathay even, and even there, Cathay is part of One World, which in the US it's American, Cathay, British Airways, Qantas, and a host of others. If it's the same price, buy the ticket through American Airlines, even on the Cathay flight. Even if it's $50 more, I would do it. In the rare case of an emergency, you break your leg, whatever reason, you're going to have a better shot at least getting a travel credit through American than you will trying to call Hong Kong and explain the situation with Cathay. Now with an outfit like Zip Air, yeah, forget it. They're going to offer some choice that I don't know what it is, $350, $400 for a flexible type ticket. And if you don't purchase that and some kind of emergency comes up, you're probably just going to be out. I'm not even sure there's anybody to call. I ran into that problem with AirAsia last year. The website's a little clunky and I accidentally double booked. I booked a flight and it just spun in a circle and I thought it was just frozen. So I kind of started over and I booked the flight again. The next morning I woke up with 2 airline tickets and 2 confirmation numbers, and it was only whatever it was, I don't even remember, a $45 ticket to Chiang Mai, say. So not the end of the world, but it did double charge me. And I sent multiple emails. Again, nobody to call. There's the live virtual agent. I sent all kinds of messages and just got nowhere. So keep all that in mind when you're trying to save 50, even $100 with some of these discounted travel agencies, or going with some of these discounted airlines. I'll use them all the time. I'm a big fan of AirAsia. You get what you pay for, and I kind of feel the same way with the Zip Air. But if something does come up, I would hate to lose $1,950. I broke my leg and I can't travel, and there's zero communication between you and the airline. And it's starting to rain again. My friend also brought up, well, if we purchase the economy tickets through whoever, say American, on the Cathay, should we still start working on the credit cards in case we have a chance of upgrading? And that's a little hit or miss. Again, they're traveling on a Sunday coming over and a Friday going home. So you have to understand how the business people travel, and you're going to have a far worse chance to upgrade to business if you're traveling on the same days. It's really coming down now. And I ducked into my Via Market. Hopefully the lens didn't get wet here. Here's a little peek. Cheese is pretty darn expensive here. I want this little Sargento $2.55 for your 4 cheese Mexican. And then they have some really expensive cheeses over here. I'll get it every now and then, but just a little brick of whatever this cheddar is here. That's not too bad. 195 baht. Some of these can be 500 baht. Well, maybe it's more cheese. I don't see the price on that one without breaking out the glasses. But they'll have different select items in here you won't find anywhere else in town. I would kind of avoid that top shelf cheese there. You see the 127 on the mozzarella. That's Thai cheese, and it's a little bit more, I don't like a processed cheese. If you're going to enjoy some cheese, then spend a little extra. And I'm not buying many Hot Pockets these days, but they have them. $2.69. Some old school Stouffer's French bread pizzas. 305 baht. And that's the last thing I need, but Sara Lee original cheesecake. What does it say? 350 baht. And this is going to be the only place for Egos. 235. Cool Whip. 190. And here's Boone's Asphalt Cider. 215. I think it's only 220 baht. Maybe it's 240 on happy hour. I'm not positive at O'Shea's. Hungry Man boneless fried chicken. 310 baht. And what is that? Some healthy choice. 285. But definitely going local is the way to go. Here's some local hot sausages, ooh, $1.95. You can get one for 120 baht. And this is kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. Maybe I'll pick up two and throw them in the freezer. These 40 baht Tina's burritos. I think that's about the same price as the US. Now if you want your Captain Crunch, 419 baht. Lucky Charms on sale for $2.99. You can find, what is it, Frosted Flakes cheap, even at the 7-Eleven. Some of these other cereals you're only going to find in here, and they're going to be 12 bucks. And they may have been in a shipping container for months. So it's always good to have my little backpack book bag thing here. I just loaded it up with groceries. And as I'm walking home, I'm passing O'Shea's again. I was down at the Royal Oak with friends tonight. And then right over here is the Robin Hood. And you can see we are feet from the stairs of BTS Prompong. Nice and mellow traffic tonight here at 9 p.m. So that's good news. I think it was October here in 2025 that United started that freedom flight from Hong Kong into Bangkok. If you're unfamiliar, a U.S. carrier has to take off from a U.S. home base, or what's it called? I'm drawing a blank. With a hub, I guess. And then go to a foreign nation. I believe they're allowed 7 freedom flights. So this Hong Kong to Bangkok is obviously going to be one of United's, and that's nice to see United here at Suvarnabhumi. But hopefully they'll tweak the fare a little bit, or it's all supply and demand. I know the direct flight Vancouver on Air Canada to Bangkok. I have a couple of friends that are from Canada, and they say it hasn't been cost effective. It's still cheaper to whatever it is, fly Bangkok to Hong Kong, Hong Kong to Toronto, that type of thing. So it's all about the cost of the flight. There has been talk that Thai Airways has been given the green light to fly back to the US. However, as of now, the end of 2025, I don't believe there are any plans on the books. But United is part of Star Alliance, so isn't Thai Airways. So perhaps, I know there was a rumor that United was going to fly either LA or San Francisco directly to Thailand, and they've always flown to Hong Kong. So that Hong Kong and now bringing the United over to Thailand, maybe that is to give way. At some point in the future, there might be a direct flight on Thai Airways. It'd be a long flight, I'd guess, from Bangkok to LA or San Francisco. It's a guess, 14 and a half, 15 hours. So yeah, that'd be tough in economy. But at the end of the day, it's all first world problems. I mean, I crossed the ocean in the Navy, and that took, what, 6 weeks? So I'm not really complaining about sitting and watching 3 movies, even in an economy seat, and being over here in half a day. Or maybe it's closer to 24 hours with changing planes and layovers. It's always best to try to get that 2-hour layover, unless you're a little bit nutty like me and you're trying to get a 23-hour and 59-minute layover in a city like Tokyo or Hong Kong, and you enjoy that little mini trip. Most of the time, if you can't connect within 24 hours, that will just count as the same ticket. And they have the rain shelters up, coming off the BTS Prompong, heading into the M Quartier. And there's still a little bit of traffic here on the train platform. So a nice line of people waiting to buy individual tickets. And here's the top of Sukhumvit, Soi 24. My buddy who I was just hanging out with from Georgia, he's staying down at the classic Davis Hotel, kind of towards the end of Soi 24 near Rama 4. They have a beautiful older section of the hotel I think they use for parties and weddings. It appears to be teak and different wooden structures. I'm gonna walk just a short ways down to my street, Soi 26, and jump on a motorbike and head on home. So I appreciate you taking this little peek around Bangkok with me. And hopefully you'll follow along. So we will see you really soon. You have a great evening.